It's time for the Eric Barnes Show. Find out what is going on inside Boonville Pioneer Baseball, straight from the coach. Exclusively on the Southwestern Indiana Sports Network. Wanting to scan those old videos, films, or audio to DVD? We'll look no further than Milligan Communications. We can also scan your old pictures, slides, and negatives to picture quality as well. With thousands of happy customers, let Milligan Communications help put your treasured memories on a digital media. Call Milligan Communications today at 812-630-2449. Milligan Communications, capturing your yesterdays.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Hey everyone, Joey Chestnut here, world champion competitive eater. I follow Southwest Indiana Sports Network, and if you're hungry for sports, you should follow them too.
Follow the Southwest Indiana Sports Network at SWISportsnetwork.com or search Roku for our channel at SW Indiana Sports Network.
Welcome to the Eric Barnes Show. Coach, last week you played Pike Central, Evansville Memorial, Mount Vernon, Evansville Bosse, and Evansville Harrison Monday this week, and you won 4 of those. And in the way it looks, you also scored a lot of runs.
Yeah, that's a nice thing. Bats could come alive. I think it could be in part of the weather, or it could be in part of we just got a little bit more comfortable in the box, and that happens with just more and more reps over time. Just to kind of, talk about that week, Pike was a really good day for Jake Fuller. He started off, gave us 4 actually, which was more than kind of what we expected. Pitch count was in a pretty good place, and then some. We got some key hits and some key spots, and we were able to really get the job done Tuesday. So it was a great way to start PAC play. Wednesday, if you looked at the weather, you wouldn't have thought anybody south of Indianapolis would have got a game in, but we were fortunate enough to be able to play at the University of Evansville. And for the first, few innings, it was pretty tight both ways. Not a lot of offense, but we were able to score 3 in the top of the 5th. Dominic Sharp had a big 2-run double that inning to kind of open the game up a little bit. But unfortunately, in that bottom half of the 5th, we just didn't really execute defensively like we should have. We made a couple of mistakes. Led to a pretty big inning, too, when you up in walks, hit by pitches, those types of things. And we fell 5-3, but it was one of those losses that you feel pretty good about, if there's such a thing. And we were fortunate enough to get out there and play, get that experience. And we just were better for it the next day. Mount Vernon, we won 10-0 in 6. And it was the same recipe as Tuesday. Dominic Sharp was really good on the mound. Hunter Keebler was great in relief. And we were just able to get the job done on all sides of the baseball. Ran the bases really well. And Friday, we were able to take care of Bosse in a run rule game. So it was a great week for us. And then we started off yesterday against Harrison, had a 4-run first inning, just a lot of loud hits for us, just a lot of guys on base and able to, steal them in a scoring position. And they made it close. We gave up 5 runs to make the game 6-5 at that point. But our guys never panicked. We were relaxed throughout the whole day, and we were able to really make our mark, add a couple insurance runs, and wound up winning 8-6. So far, so good for us. We're feeling pretty good. We're feeling pretty relaxed at the plate. But we're really getting it done on the mound, and I think that's the big thing for us, and that's key. Because roster-wise, we're not totally deep, but we do have enough really good pieces to put some things together if we have to. So I've been really proud of these guys for sticking with the game plan, trusting us to try to, make the best choices in game for them personnel wise and just when the situation arises. But these boys have been terrific, and hopefully we can continue that today at Gibson Southern.
And looking at your schedules you've had so far, you've played number 1 Jasper, you've played an always strong Evansville Memorial, and then Pike Central, Mount Vernon, Ball C, and Harrison. And the key thing is all the runs you're scoring. I mean, you scored 10 runs or more in 3 of the 4 games you've won over the last 5 games. And and that other game was 8 runs, so that was close to 10. So you guys are putting it on, making it easy on your pitchers.
Yes, we are. That does help. It does keep them relaxed on the mound. Big thing for us, I think, offensively is our approach. Our approach is pretty good. Our goal is to make sure we really stay up the middle, work the other way, and then just be on time for the one that we get inside to our wheelhouse. And I think we've done a pretty good job, especially at the top of the order. Seth Williams and Mason Gladys have kind of really set the table for us, and Tyler Reinhardt, Dominic Sharp, and some others have done a really nice job of driving those guys in. And the nice thing about it is they're base running threats too. And I think if you can stretch that throughout an entire lineup, you don't have to, get that big double every time. I mean, it can just be a ground ball to short or ground ball to second that gets it in. And I think if you're, a team that just continues to put it on, inning after inning, just a little bit at a time, I think eventually you wear out a pitching staff and you just continue to put a lot of pressure on the defense. And we've done a really good job of that. I think a lot of that goes into our approach, and it's just gotten better with the more confidence and more comfort we have being in the box so much. And we just hope that continues. That was one of my keys last week, talking about swinging the bats, and we've done a really good job with that so far, and hopefully that continues. But we're going to have our ups and downs. We're going to have our days where we may have to squeeze in a couple runs and just kind of win the game that way. But I think for right now, it looks like a beach ball coming in to a lot of our guys, and that means good things are going to happen.
And we're back on the Eric Barnes Show. These messages from our sponsors. You're listening to Southwest Indiana Sports Network, powered by Miller Buster Communications.
You dream it, we create it at Street Dreams. Custom paint, fabrication, stereos, wheels, tires, and more. We're also your authorized Sinister Sound dealer. Street Dreams, 317-624-1000, where you expect quality and get.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school? I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana High School Sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Welcome back to the Eric Barnes Show. And Coach, this week you actually started out the PAC 2-0, and you've got 2 PAC games this week at Gibson Southern and home against Heritage Hills. Why don't you preview both of those games for us?
Okay, so today, going to Gibson Southern, a really good program, really good track record of having success in the conference. So we know we're up against, one of their best arms, that they have to offer, and I think we're ready for the challenge. Dominic Sharp's going to take the ball for us today, and we're looking forward to a good outing with him. I think the keys to the game are going to be to really limit the base runners, because they do have some base running threats. But they're young. I mean, they've lost a lot. If you look at last year's roster to this year, they're similar to us in some ways, where you're going to have to plug some guys in and hope some good things happen. But I think as long as we continue to keep putting pressure on our opponent, I think we're going to give ourselves a pretty good chance to come out with a win. So we're looking forward to that matchup. And then we got practice Wednesday, and then we're back at it again at home against Heritage Hills. And we had a really tight one with them last year. We had to go through probably our top 3 arms to get through that early in the season. But we know they're competitive. We know Coach Fisher's going to do a really good job of trying to find ways to score and be creative on the bases. So And that sets us up well for the rest of the season. And because we want to face adversity, we want to face tough times, and we want to learn how to deal with it and move on. And hopefully that betters us for the remainder of the season. And as we get closer to sectional, we don't have any panic. We're relaxed. We're making sure we keep the game fun and just execute when it's our time to get it done. So we're looking forward to these two PAC matchups today, and hopefully we can walk away with 2 wins.
And as I've talked to some other PAC coaches, and just like football and in basketball, the PAC is basically a meat grinder schedule.
Yes, it is. There's not very many. You can't take a lot of days off mentally, if any, and that's a good thing. That's how you want it. I think if you get to a point where you're complacent and you start to coast, you're going to reveal a lot of things about yourselves, and we just hope that our guys understand that every time we go out there, regardless of record, when you get into conference play, it means a lot. And as these games start to happen later in the season, we start to figure out what the race is looking like. You're going to see teams that are going to make the adjustments just to make sure that they get a chance to win that conference, and that's how much it means. And it means a lot to all of us to have such a big conference, and a lot of things can happen. You can get a lot of help with some unexpected victories and get a lot of help with some unexpected losses. But we just want to take that in stride, and hopefully, we have a chance to come out on top at the end. But we know it doesn't come without some kind of sacrifice, with some kind of challenge. And once we kind of get through that, and we understand that those games are going to take a lot out of us mentally, we just hope we're ready to go.
Well, Coach, good luck this week, and go get 2 PAC wins.
I appreciate it. As always, appreciate the time, getting to know Pioneer baseball a little bit, and hopefully we can come back with some good news for you.
And you've been listening to the Eric Barnes Show on Southwest Indiana Sports Network, powered by Millie Rose for Communications. We'll see you next week.